Welcome back to Daytime on Rogers TV as we say hello to Michael Sangster, who is the Apple trainer and digital camera expert from Superior Computers. Thank you so much for coming in, Michael.
No problem.
And today we're talking about iPhoto. If you have a Mac, actually, if you have any Apple product, iPhoto is the thing, is it not?
That's right, it is.
So what can we do with iPhoto?
Well, iPhoto is basically designed. Apple, when they came out with their computer systems, they thought, what is the one thing digital everybody wants to do? Digital photo.
Photos,
so
absolutely.
We're all going out, we're grabbing our cameras, we're shooting tons and tons of pictures, but we got to organize them, we got to keep track of them, we have to make it work easily.
Right.
So as we go out and start to shoot all these photos, what are we going to do with them? We're going to put them into a program, and Apple created iPhoto. They made it as easy as possible. So iPhoto is an organizational tool. So to start with, if we wanted to import pictures from our digital camera, it's just as simple as plugging it in. So we can plug basically our camera in. We don't really even have to go anything further than that. iPhoto will actually start up automatically. So it's one of these things that it actually will engage. I don't have to do anything. I didn't push any buttons. It just comes on.
Wow.
So it makes it really easy, and it comes up and tells me, I have pictures, and do I want to import those photos? So I can actually, click on my different pictures if I'd like. I can see which ones, maybe I've already imported. I can actually select which pictures, and thank you for that nice picture you shot at the side of my head. And again, I can actually click and say, I'm going to import, the selected pictures and bring those in, and it will actually go ahead and bring those up. And it gives us kind of a, do I want to keep those pictures? Do I want to get rid of those pictures off my camera? And we're going to say keep them. I might use them later on. And it brings up the pictures. So here I shot a couple of shots of Superior Computers. So we can go ahead and actually do some really cool things. Now, if our camera came, this one has what's called GPS geotagging. So as I go out and I snap my pictures, it's recording where I took those. So I can actually click on an individual picture if I'd like, click on my info tab here, and down at the bottom you'll notice it starts to plot down on a map.
Oh, it shows
where
exactly where you were when you took that picture.
Very cool.
So I can actually go through later on and I can actually search out all those different places that I went to. And by clicking on a map, I can see all the different spots that I've traveled to.
Oh, wow.
You can actually zoom in closer onto each spot. And as I go through, I can actually go ahead and try to get this to work
And I love that
me.
it does it all automatically for you. You don't need to.
It's designed to be easy.
This is organized for you as soon as the picture's taken, basically.
That's
it's imprinted with that information, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. If you buy a camera, look for one with GPS. Okay. So it gives you that new feature. And as I go in closer and closer, I can see all the different individual spots and where I've actually taken those pictures. So I can actually click and see what photos did I take at that spot, and I can see, a party that I had been to at the Elmhurst. You can go ahead and look at all those different things. I can actually go back and zoom in, zoom out, and see everything that I've basically done all around. Now, Apple built that, and that's kind of like a where I took my pictures, but we can also go through and see who's in our pictures. So I can organize by face. So it actually has face recognition technology.
Oh, wow.
It
so
learns,
I don't even have to do that. iPhoto will do that for me as well?
It starts to learn who everybody is. So I can look at my pictures and say, oh, here's all the pictures of me. And I can actually scroll through and see quickly every picture I've taken of myself. I can double click on that and say, I want to look at pictures of my daughter. And I can click back and see all the pictures I've taken. And it learns what she looks like now and what she looked like a long time ago. So it starts to really develop up, and I can see how things work.
This is amazing to me.
Crazy.
We use this on I use this on my home computer to track photos of my nieces. My oldest niece is now 3 years old. We started with photos when she was about a week old, and it tracks her through the months and the years. As she ages, it still knows
who she is.
That's right. And
Amazing.
it's amazingly accurate.
And
any idea, how does it do that?
Yeah.
It's actually looking at the eyes, the nose, and the mouth, and it looks for similar features, but you need to teach it. The first time people use this, it goes in and it'll find pictures of me that look like my grandmother. It'll find pictures, and it just finds that somewhat similarity.
Sure.
But it doesn't actually know. So as I go through these, it starts to learn more and more. So, if I click on pictures of my granddaughter, when she was first born, and as I, oops, sorry, I just did that wrong. As I go ahead and start to scroll through the years, I can start to see pictures as she gets older and older. And again, it starts to learn all the way down to when I take this down to the very bottom, and she's much older now, I can actually see how she's changed. But it learns that face, those eyes, that nose, that mouth. Part of the reason that the way it works is it needs to have a face-on shot. So if I'm looking straight ahead, it knows look for my eyes, my nose, my mouth. But every variance it has to slowly learn. So we have to teach it and train it. As I click on this, it'll ask me, do I want to confirm additional faces?
Right.
And it'll teach me, I can click on this and say, is this her? And I can click on the different photos and say, yes, it is, or no, it's not.
Okay.
So it gives me that. It keeps learning and learning as time goes on.
Exactly, and it will keep getting better and better at that recognition.
Exactly.
The more you use it, the more photos
That's
you put
right.
in there. All right, so it's a great tool for keeping things organized, but when we come back from our break, I want to ask you about what we're doing with all these pictures, because if we're just keeping them organized in a nice little box, that's kind of pointless, right?
Absolutely.
We got to actually do something with them. More with Michael Sangster from Superior Computers when Daytime returns.
And welcome back to Daytime. We're here with Michael Sangster from Superior Computers, teaching us all about the cool things you can do with iPhoto. But we are still looking for an answer to our trivia question, so I want to recap that one more time. The trivia prize today is a free day pass to the Fanshawe Conservation Area, which opens this Friday, as well as 4 tickets to the London Majors. And the question is this: what documentary filmmaker turns 59 years old today? You've probably heard of this guy. If you figure out who it is, give us a call at 519-672-1313 for a chance to win that prize pack. So, Michael, before we went to break, we were talking about the very cool technology that iPhoto uses to organize and to track your photos. Now tell us, what can you do with all that information?
Well, the big thing that people look at when they're doing this, they get the pictures in. Years ago, when we did photos, we printed them. Now we don't do that. So what are we doing with it? Well, we're creating things like slideshows. We're going into that next level, that fun stuff. So iPhoto basically is built in all sorts of neat and wonderful things. For instance, here I've thrown together a slideshow, and it took basically only a few seconds. Now, the way it pulled all this information, the way it knows that says Cuba 2012, is it pulled it from that GPS geotagging that I was talking about earlier in the places. So as I go ahead and create this, I could actually click, on my play button, and it actually pulls up information basically on that Cuba portion. Yeah, it puts that in.
Too.
But you'll notice it plots all the spots on the maps. This is where we were. So it tells me there's places out in the water.
Yeah.
If I was taking pictures and that, it shows me when I was out on the catamaran, where exactly I was, what the kids were doing. Everything is basically done to show me this, and it will shift and show me where we were.
Wow.
So you can see, in the water, what we were doing. And these are all things that we can do with these kind of slideshow functions, and we can take things and create all sorts of weird and wacky slideshows. If we don't like that theme and we say, no, I want to do something a little bit different, it's just a matter of, I can change my theme on here. I can go down and say I want it to look like a vintage scrapbook, click on it, choose it, and it will totally just instantly switch the theme, and I'm ready to go.
Done. That's amazing.
Wow.
So again, just a very quick.
So you really didn't
make
have
this
to
around.
do any real work. Like
No.
you didn't have to,
I can take any of my pictures at all. I mean, I had that one pre-done, but I could go and say, I have pictures of my dog here, and I want to take those pictures quickly. I just want to go ahead and create a quick and dirty slideshow, and I'm instantly into doing a slideshow of my dog,
Wow.
and I can look at those photos.
I like the music too.
Yeah. So, you can do things as fast as you want, as quickly as you'd like, but it's really, really simple. And Apple's made it so it looks fantastic, it's neat, and people go, wow, that's cool.
Where's the music coming from? Is that from your playlist?
Actually, Apple supplies some, and then you can actually use any of your iTunes music
Right,
to create
okay.
those. So it actually links directly. A lot of people, when they ask, why would I buy an Apple computer? It's for all the cool software.
Right.
The hardware, yeah, I can compare specs to Windows machines, but it's the cool software I don't get with those machines
Absolutely.
that Apple provides. Other things, if we have time,
Yeah,
I can
absolutely.
go in,
Keep going.
talk to you. Yeah. So other things we can do is we can create things like projects. So I have a different project list here that I can actually look at, and I'm going to go to just a slightly different view here. When I click on this, I can actually see some of the different things that I've worked on in the past. So, I can choose to create things like albums, I can create books, anything that I want. So if I wanted to, I can actually go through and look and choose a different style and make a book. So the
Okay.
conventional books that we used to do, were the photo albums that we'd be flipping every direction to kind of
Yep.
accommodate our pictures. Here, I can actually order a book online. I can choose from all sorts of different themes. Again, the same way I did almost with a slideshow, choose my book and choose create. It'll give me all the options to go ahead and lay out all the pages. And it's just a matter of finding the pictures that I want. I can take those, click on, an image if I'd like here, and then just drag it in place. So if I want that picture over here, I put it in place.
You know, the thing about the Apple the software is it's all made so very easy, but just knowing it's there is half of the battle, which
Absolutely.
is one of the great things about Superior Computers. If you call them at 519-652-6617, you actually have courses where you will take us through all this stuff.
That's right. iPhoto, for instance, tomorrow we start a 4-week course basically walking through the steps of iPhoto. And people kind of go, well, it's a very basic organization. It's super powerful.
Right.
So I can in iPhoto take 9,000 pictures, and I can say I want to find the pictures of my daughters, Michelle and Julia, with my granddaughter, Madison, at Christmas time, and I can take that 9,000 pictures and narrow it down to about 2 pictures, 3 pictures in about 10 seconds.
Amazing.
So, those are the types of things. We have thousands and thousands of pictures, but we have to find them, be able to use them, and all these different things.
And this is the challenge with digital photos. It's great to have them all stored in your computer, but organizing them and actually doing something useful with them, creating an album you can sit and flip through is something that we need to work on, I guess.
Absolutely. And the one thing I like to always just tell everybody is please back them up. Back up your pictures.
Back them up.
Back
That's
up.
key.
If you don't know how to back up, come and see us. We'll teach you how to back up.
Teach me iCloud.
Yes.
Yeah.
Teach you lots of things, but we need to back up.
All right, superiorcomputers.ca. Yeah, get into one of those classes, and Michael will teach you everything you need to know about iPhoto and so much more. We're back with more Daytime right after this.